This episode of The Cut was filmed at the Men's Grooming Lounge.
Now this is me in the future. Always want to prove a point. Now we're contemplating another junction in life. We live with our decisions. It all come down to choice. It all come down to choice. Hey. I made use of my opportunity. Now I'm where I want to be.
All right, we are back in The Cut. And we're here, boy, the season fly off, you know? We're at the season finale already. And as usual, we have two very, very interesting guests. I can't wait to get into the conversation. We have Ackeef Nugent, who is a principal, a teacher, and a founder for the Nugent Academy.
Yes.
You must be the Guinness Book of World Records, must have something in the film.
Straight up.
And to my right, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, MP for Southwest St. Elizabeth.
Yes, that's it.
Floyd Green.
Blessings.
Welcome, boss.
Yeah, man.
It has been weeks I've been trying to get you on The Cut.
Yeah, well, I've been wanting to come for a long time. I love the program. I love the vibe. I love the energy. It's a great work. And happy to be here with the principal, the boss.
Yeah. You know what is man?
Yeah, man. This is man, I'm well famous.
Yeah. So imagine this now, Floyd. I've been wanting to talk to you for ages about just life. And here comes Beryl now.
Absolutely.
Come barrel through the constituency, the parish, like Beryl want to kick over the bread basket.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been a tough time. You know, you live in an island, you look out for hurricanes. I tell people in our neck of the woods, we used to speak about Gilbert, and Gilbert way before time. But we used to talk about Ivan. Ivan was the big storm for us in St. Elizabeth.
Right.
But Beryl make Ivan look like him never try.
Really?
Yeah, man, to be honest with you. If you talk to anybody, I pick up a man, I pick up Jojo, him sell melon, anytime you come into St. Elizabeth, you'll find him by the like a silver tank coming down. And Jojo said, boy, Mr. Green, we have to put together Ivan, Dane, Charlie, to make what Beryl was.
But isn't that crazy? Because here we are in Kingston saying, we get spared. And on the same island, so much devastation took place. What was the cause of that? Is it just the worst part of the eye wall?
Clearly it went south of us, but the eye wall, so the eye wall has the most intensity.
Yeah.
So what you find is that in a number of our communities, 70 to 80% of the houses have damage. Roofs are gone. And remember, when you lose your roof, it's a terrible thing because everything get wet. You don't have anywhere to go until you put back on that roof. And this is not just like one community. It's not just Treasure Beach or Great Bay. I mean, everything from Flagaman, Newell, Newcomb Valley, Arlington, Vineyard, Greenfield, Parity, over to Middle Quarters. I mean, I have probably 15 to 20 communities mountainside that have suffered significant damage. And when you're driving through, it's just roofs gone. It's just shops, you know, in country. Little board shop, our thing people go to. You hardly can find any left.
Whoa.
Churches, almost all our churches lost their roofs. Yeah, man. I mean, we have churches that have been around for 100 years, like the Anglican Church in Peter Place. Destroyed. And it's why it's so hard. I was there Tuesday. Spoke to the people who had a graduation there for Peter Place Primary. And I said to them that, listen, take that one as serious, you know. Because I want to attract like Ivan.
Right.
And the people said yes, you know. But the truth is, no matter how you're prepared, just the scale of the wind, there's not much you could do.
Listen, I mean, in Kingston, we were able to feel the strength of it just for very small increments.
Yeah.
And just that alone was enough for me to understand what this storm could do and can do. And we see the pictures.
And I tell you, every road was blocked. And then when you talk about down poles, at least 30 to 40% of our poles have gone down. Right, so it's been a tough. But let me tell you the beauty with Jamaicans in general, but definitely St. Elizabeth people. They're extremely resilient.
Right.
I mean, I tell you from the first day I went in with the Prime Minister on the Thursday. I'm going to be honest. I called the PM and I said, boy, PM, May I have to go down there, you know, because we don't face this alone.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Because
man.
we don't, St. Elizabeth, we don't really exaggerate like that.
Yeah.
So when them tell you say the words like I've had,
Yeah.
you know, say you're in for a deal. I remember we went to a lady, and the lady said, Mr. Green, oh, for you. We have life, you know, and you there, we there. So we could just push through. Right, and that has been the vibe.
It must be heartwarming to see the amount of support that has been pouring in from diaspora, from Jamaica here, public, private sector.
It's been really amazing. I think sometimes in these times you see the best away, right? And people have reached out from all over. I mean, my phone is non-stop, and 90% of the calls are what we can do, how we can help.
Yeah.
You know, I had one friend, he's from St. Elizabeth, but you know, lives in Kingston, runs Blue Dot Lorraine, and I want to big him up because he took up him tool them from him yard and said, listen, man, come cut some tree and help some people just move some things and put on back a roof. And I mean, you know, it's a one man and bring a one brethren and him help a 1-2 people, but I mean, if everybody take that approach,
right,
it can go a far way. Plus, you know, even before we got to get our like contractors out, you had people who get up, jumping on them backhoe and ask a question and start go a clean road and those things give you, you know, renewed hope. Despite the challenge, it's been good to see the outpouring of love and support.
So are using this show not just as season finale, but we're shedding light on the situation down on the ground. What can people do to support?
Yes, I think one of the first things is to let people know it's widespread. Right?
Exactly.
It's extensive.
Yes.
I think a lot of it is you don't get the idea because of the lack of connectivity. So remember, no electricity, limited self-service. Most places don't have self-service. So we're just trying to get those things back and no water, right? So it's a number of communities. It's almost all of my communities on the south and some over the bridge, right? So that's the first thing. So you know, reach out and see how we can help. Most of the communities have CDC groups, community development committees. They are good organizations to work through.
Okay.
Right? In terms of needs, you know, the damage was largely to roofs, to homes. So building material will always be a big need. Right? As we try to get electricity back, until we get that, things like solar lights are big commodities.
Right.
Generators, I'll big up Randolph Limited. They send 2 of those light towers. You know, you go to an event and see the light tower with a generator, and we use that and establish 3 charging stations.
Okay.
So that people could go in, charge their phone.
Yeah.
I remember I went to check on the first one, and a lady literally said to me, boy, Mr. Green, thank you, because when I talked to my daughter from Tuesday, and this was Saturday, and it's the first she make her know, say, yeah, me all right, because I could have charged my phone. So those things are still important because fishing community, farming community, storage is critical, so generators help, tarpaulins, those things help. But just lending a helping hand, you know, the needs are tremendous all around because again, when you lose your roof, you often lose a lot in your house, and building back is going to take time.
And you mentioned of roof, but people have lost their whole farms.
Yeah,
Everything,
a lot of farms. Remember, the fishers can't go out, and if you're a fish vendor, largely what you had on the fridge would have spoiled. You can't go take no more because you don't have electricity.
Right.
You know, that is the reality. And outside of roofs, people lost their homes, you know.
Yeah.
And it's going to need a concerted effort because a lot of the people who have lost their homes are people who, you know, don't really have the capacity to put it back, right? So we have to find a way to target those people, work with entities and say, all right, we're going to build back some homes. I mean, there's a video circulating of a lady who, she has 5 children, and I mean her house blew down completely, right? So like we've provided some preliminary support, food package, mattress, things of that nature, but that house have to build back. And she really don't have it to build it back.
Right.
So we're really going to have to come together and say, oh, let's get these things done. Government, private sector, everybody.
Yeah, have a pool together. So Ackeef, you had any damage to the academy?
Well, just the trees. We are a school that we farm and so on and so forth. We do farming.
Oh, yes.
So we do planting and a lot. The planting trees down and the peace tree that we had and so forth. But we had some seeds and we tried to plant back. So what we did the other day, you know, we get air from some of the trees, but because we didn't want it to touch a building, we chopped down some and so forth. But we said in the meeting that we had, as soon as we chop down the trees and so on and so forth, as soon as the hurricane season is out, they are going to be planted back. And so far, they are planted back.
Okay,
so no damage was to the building.
Good.
Yes.
So Ackeef, ever since I saw the story about you starting your school, I've always wanted to speak to you. I've always been a big fan and supporter of you as just a phenomenal child. I mean, it's not normal that you see somebody at your age having the ambition to want to be a principal, a teacher, and not just having the idea or the dream, but actually making it a reality is incredible. What would have inspired you? You know, what in your life path has carried you to be so, wanting to educate your peers and, how that go?
Yes, I saw the need in my community for changes because, when you have the talent and so forth, you need somebody, a leader, or somebody that understands that, yes, you have a talent, you have to take it serious. It's not a plaything. So they needed the help, to help them, to motivate them, to strive for excellence. And that, when I saw the need, I just take it into action.
Right,
yes.
right. So you would have gone to a primary school. Who would have been the people who played a role in your development as a academic?
Well, my grandmother, father, and mother, those three persons helped me to build what I have right now. Doing the schooling thing, they are the person that, are there the most to say, this is to be done and whatever, and give a support. Yes, and the persons in my community.
Let me ask you this. Do you have any teachers in your family?
Well, yes, I have. Some of my cousins and aunties are teachers.
Yeah? What
Yes.
subject you teach?
English.
That's your favorite subject?
No, history is my favorite subject.
Straight
but
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
History, man,
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I did
History is
degree
my
was in
favorite
history.
subject.
Really?
Yeah, man, my degree was in history and
Degree.
politics, my first degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love history throughout high school. That was my favorite subject. I always feel like, one, you get to see how the world repeats itself.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you study history, you can know what to look out for.
Yeah.
You see the world repeating itself.
Yeah, I used to love history too.
Yeah.
So your schooling would have started where?
Oh boy, all right. So my journey, at the time, my mother had moved to Hanover. She was a teacher at Rossi's. So my schooling started at Lucy, and then we went back to St. Elizabeth, and I went to prep school in St. Elizabeth, and then Monroe College, and then UA. I did a first degree in history and politics, and then I studied law, so I went to UA Barbados for a couple of years, and then came back.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So, but I completely enjoyed my school life. I loved high school immensely, and not the academics per se, right? I used to do my work, and I always believe you must do your work.
Yes.
But the involvement and the participation, and as Ackeef say, trying to develop your qualities to be a leader, to be a man. And that's what I really got out of Monroe, participating in clubs. And
Yes, extracurricular.
Yeah, man, I was very,
Yeah.
very active.
Really?
Yeah, man, I got the award, literally. We get one award, I think what's say most involved senior student.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always something that strikes me when you speak, that you have this eloquence, you have this natural charisma, you're a people person, you're a bright youth, and you're down to earth. So it's almost like you're the perfect politician then.
I wasn't, I never liked politics for a long time.
Really?
No,
So
man.
where did the political ambition trigger?
And my household was a non-political household.
Yeah?
Because my mother is a laborite, hardcore. But she don't talk politics. And my
Okay, because I was going to ask you, how is that non-political?
No, I'm gonna explain. And my father's a PMP.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, but so, no, we had absolutely no political discussions.
Right.
Never.
Okay.
Election time, them go vote and come back home.
Come back
That is
inside.
it.
Yeah.
Right? So I never when I come to university now, and you know, people want to reason with you, and they want to talk to you about politics. I mean, I say, boy, well, you know, if you're going to have the conversation, then you have to do some research.
Yeah.
You have to know the thing. That's when I started to look at politics. And those times, they had an organization called G2K that just came about during those times. And I said, boy, but this look good. But I felt at that time, quite frankly, that, boy, the politics thing, enough for me, because you know, politics have a bad name.
Right, yeah.
Politicians have a bad name.
Yeah.
And,
Here are you now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, changing the narrative.
No, true. No, it's serious. Yeah, it's about 2011 I really said to myself that, listen, either you're going to try and make the change or you're going to depend on other people. And if you have the qualities that people will put them faith and trust in you to represent them interests, and you don't put it forward, then, you know. So it's just like if Ackeef, they just stay and say, yo, him can do this, but him not act on it, then we'll not talk to him now. The community wouldn't be better off. So we have to act on the things that we can do.
Yeah. So Ackeef, you are a teacher now. When you look to the Ackeef in the future, what do you see yourself doing? What's the end game for you?
All right, so I'm seeing Ackeef going to the extent more and more to reach people that I can't even reach, to help them.
That sounds like a politician, Ackeef, you know.
Because
Minister of Education, Ackeef Nugent, it have a vibe, you know. It have a vibe, you know.
Him out a good start.
Because I'm saying, you know, many times, you know, there are persons there that because they don't know something about you, they make their own, and that is, at the end of the day, those are the things that break some people, you know. But you have to strong. As a leader, you have to strong, because sometimes as a leader, you get backlash. Yeah. Sometimes people just say things because they want to break you and to see the outcome of you. Yeah. So I am saying, yes, I'm seeing in the years to come, I'm seeing the Ackeef going to the extent, I repeated that twice, to reach a person that I can't reach.
Right.
To help them.
Well, I can't wait to see how your story unfolds, because I know that you already started, so it's just to keep on that trajectory.
If you get words that you have in your book, you're going to use them.
You mentioned something, you said backlash, and Minister, you know a little bit
God.
A little bit, more than a little bit.
about backlash, but it's in life, sometimes you have to turn the setback into a setup for something greater.
No, you know, it's always about learning. It's always about learning, and you never stop learning. And there are so many things for you to learn from, and so many people for you to learn from. I tell people, I try to interact with everybody. And people say I'm a constituency, or sometimes I'm gonna come and talk to me, and you know, might not too right it anymore. And you listen, because you never. Sometimes those people have like a nugget for you, right? And they can take on. And I find any experience in life, you have to take it at that. So clearly, nobody wants to go through tough situations. Nobody wants to face tremendous backlash. Nobody wants to make mistakes that they have to find themselves, you know, apologizing for and trying to move on from. But, you know, once you reach that point, it's all about taking responsibility. It's all about dealing with it. It's all about learning from it and ensuring that you reshape it in a way that you don't walk that path again, you know, and it has been a big learning experience. It's been all of the backlash that I've gotten has been a tough. I tell you about politics. I tell people, I don't read comments. I don't read, maybe on my own posts, but not. I tell you, I remember my first interview in politics. It was Dane, all angles, and I was really thrown into it. I was in 2011, just young and fresh, and them say, yo, listen, you have to go down and go do it. And I tell you, I think I did well, but even but I come in and I say, all right, but we look for what people have to say. I said, read the first comment. Because Ackeef said, the reality with this life, a lot of people who don't know you, they don't know your story, you know, but they have a lot to say. And if you want to take a part of leadership, you kind of have to broaden your back. And just ensure you do it for the right reason.
And be humble.
And be humble. Humility is very, very important, I have found.
All right, so, I mean, I'm going to say this to say something else, but Joe Biden now has a lot of calls for him to step aside, right? And I think it's mainly because of a poor debate performance that happened the other day, right? But my thing to you now is the debate stage. How much pressure is it? Because you, to me, it was so impressive how you handle yourself. The last debate I saw with you, how you handle yourself. And I thought to myself, boy, Jado, I don't know how me could have managed in a situation like this to be my greatest self under so much pressure.
Yeah.
What kind of preparation,
Debate is a tough
you know,
one.
and how imperative is it for you to perform well on a debate stage?
Yeah, so to be honest, we had a good preparation. Right, we had a really good team of people, and people like Camino, who really worked with us to try and go through the various things. It is very nerve-wracking, and that was my first national debate. I remember the national debate. So everybody has tuned in. All you think now. You know, I don't think I've been able to answer all the messages I got after that debate. People you don't know your phone. I never did a lot of debating per se, but I did a lot of public speaking, right, in high school.
Right.
And I always said, listen, these things prepare you, you know. You don't know.
For the world.
These things prepare you. I used to have a teacher called Mrs. Neal who took me and said, boy, I had a brilliant voice and she wanted me to be an orator, right? And she used to train me and we entered a competition. And Mrs. Neal used to say, listen, just find something to focus on, block out what's happening around you and just deliver. Right? And that's what we do, you know? Plus, when you're passionate about something, it's a little easier, you know? So, yeah, at the start I was a little nervous, but then when we start hearing some of the responses, I mean, I say, yeah, no, but no.
When you're in a debate, you have to be factual. Go and do your research.
I was very impressed by you, and I was very impressed by Lisa as well, how composed she is. The two of them
Lisa is great.
Tonight,
Lisa,
man.
no, when it comes down, without a doubt, Lisa is one of the best. I'll say that.
You don't
yeah,
think?
man. No, without a doubt, man. Because she's very good at it. She's very composed.
Very composed.
She don't allow anything to throw her off. And she make her point. So again, when you see, and it's not the thing going on. When you see somebody like a Lisa, you can't drop it.
Giving her substance.
Yeah, No, man, no, it's true, man.
It was a good. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah. No, I don't know how to deal with the pressure of those moments, man. Trust me. But I keep.
Was it like you on stage, you know?
Well, yeah, I guess. And that is where I'm most comfortable. I won't talk for 15 minutes, but I'll perform.
The court is
in front of
people and they say how you do it. But, you know, it's sometimes you come alive. I like Ackeef in that classroom, I same thing. You know, they must say, oh, youngster, so this age and leading other, you know. Yeah. I want to ask you about the Nugent Academy. What year was the academy founded? Because a lot of people are introduced to you for the first time here now and must be very impressed. But then wondering, is an official school with desk and chair structure? Everything is there. Yeah,
so the Nugent Academy was first founded on August 14, 2017. Well,
hold on.
2017.
We're not going to fly past 2017. So how old were you in 2017?
8 years old.
8 years is when you founded your academy.
I was in Orakabisa at that time on holidays, summer holidays. But that time I was teaching some cousins and my grandmother, Veranda. But I don't remember who got the top student, but I was trying to, create a certificate out of my, just doing some art. And I come across the name. I said first, Nugent Primary. No, that never sounded good to me. So, you're changing until I found that name.
Were you 8?
Yes.
Very impressive.
And then I said, okay, this can work. And from that day, I said, this is the day that in the future, because before the media thing and all of that, I always vision myself getting interviewed. I don't really tell people because they maybe say, oh, is this real?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's me alone, but I vision myself getting interviewed. Yeah, practice for them.
A goosebump technique, because that's the mindset that you have to have. You don't see it already, so it's just feet up, not the seed already plant.
No, it's true.
Yeah, so I always vision myself getting interviewed and so on. And I said, this is the day that the Nugent Academy has started. And I did not remember the day is when I visit back my grandmother's house and saw the same certificate that I made on the dresser. Yes, because my cousin did throw it away. So I saw it and I said, oh, right timing.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so it has been a good couple of years now since establishment. So you are now currently doing what? What do you offer to your students?
All right, so not only academics, because we do extracurricular activities, we do drama, we do dancing, we do debating, we do football and so on and so forth. We engage the students because what I tend to say to parents all the while, you're not going to, not everybody can be a lawyer, not everybody can be a doctor, but if a child even say they want to be a hairdresser, it's not for you to say, oh, me can't bother sit this one out. It's for you to help the child, because maybe she can be a hairdresser, but owns a salon.
Absolutely.
She might have the diploma or certificate in hairdressing or whatever, but she can be a hairdresser and even own the salon and having clients or persons coming in to book.
When I was at education, I used to say to people all the time, parents especially, I know that we're going through graduation season, I talk to them, listen, don't try and decide what your children want to be. Right? Because some of us try and live our own dreams through our children, right? But to have them be the best version of whatever they want to be.
Right.
Plus, sometimes we have some misconceptions about what make money and what don't make money. You understand? So we look
Beryl
around
show me now said that every occupation is necessary.
Absolutely.
What if we didn't have the electricians? What if we didn't have the contractors? What would happen?
I want to ask you something too as well. You are in charge of agriculture, fisheries, but this generation, and I'm not trying to single out the generation, but nowadays people have a view of agriculture, as farming as old people thing, outdated. I want to ask you, is farming, agriculture, fisheries still viable? Can you become a success story?
A big, big success story. And a lot of young people are making a lot of money in agriculture.
All right, let me ask you this then. Hypothetically speaking, what is the trajectory for a young farmer or fisherman to start out small but end up big? What's the business model?
So one of the things is it depends on what you want to do. There are a lot of options in agriculture, and sometimes we don't talk about it enough.
Right.
I'll tell you a little bit. So right now, our goat, small ruminant sector, goat industry is booming, right? And the majority of people who coming in now are young people. Because the reality, you can start from a 2 goat, right? And there's so many stories of, there's so many stories of our young people starting, especially female farmers, starting from a 2 goat, reach 40, 50, 60, right? And now in the goat industry, you have different avenues. So one, goat meat. You might not know, but we import about $3 billion in goat meat into this country.
Really?
Right? Yeah. So over time, if you eat a curry goat, it might not be Jamaican local curry goat. Right? Yeah. So that is an opportunity. And again, goats are low-cost animals, right? So that is a great opportunity. But what a lot of people are doing now is not so much for the meat, right? You have a lot of people are doing the goats now for genetics, breeds. Because you want a goat that will grow faster, right? So that you can, if you are into meat, you can get more meat on the bone, things of that nature. And let me tell you what is happening now. People are selling goats, say 6 months old, for, let me make a guess, how much you think? 6-month-old kid, how much you think people are selling them for?
30 or so.
Months at 30,000. How much you
I wasn't going to say that.
How much
I was going to say 25.
Okay, 250,000.
You sure?
I'm dead serious.
What?
I go to our farm, let me tell you a real story. This is our top farmer now. I go to our farm. He's the cheapest kid you can buy from him. at 6 months, is 250,000. If it stay over 6 months, you reach 8 months, 300,000. Let me tell you what is happening. He had 16 kids, they were already sold.
Yes.
Right? He had 7 goats who were pregnant, and most of them, he said, are double dropouts. So let us say 14 more. They were already sold. All of them gone. So he can work it out 30, and him selling for 250,000.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. No, him is a big farmer. Him is a big farmer.
Right.
So him invests a lot.
Yeah.
Right? But the point that I'm making, depending on the angle that you take, you can start and grow into that.
Yeah.
Another thing, some people think about agriculture just from planting the crops.
Yes.
But I want you to go tour the man who is a cabbage farmer. But he's not just a cabbage farmer. He's the man who supplies coleslaw to KFC. Coleslaw is mostly cabbage.
Yes.
Okay.
When you work out how much money you think that man is making.
Right.
And all them do, him get him cabbage and him have a little machine and him run it through and add it up and put it in some big bags and carry.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are recognizing that no matter what happens, you have to eat. No matter what, you will always have somebody, no matter where in the world you go, the food you eat, a farmer or a fisher had something to do with it. And they will always have something to do with it. So somebody's making that money. And more young people realize that they can make that money. And I could go through, I just give you one, I could go through, you know, you might not know, we make 50 million United States dollars from the exportation of yam.
Yeah, man.
50
so
million.
The man out the road?
You hear me, I tell you? And that I come from northern Manchester, South Trelawney, parts of Clarendon. So I know, me tell you the figure about you have a man who farm the yam, where I sell it.
Yeah.
Ackeef will make $30 billion from the exportation of Ackeef. US, sorry, me tell you that.
Right, US.
Yeah. So there are a lot of
It's
avenues.
not talked about enough because a lot of youth
is
don't.
what we don't do enough.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it enough. And again, remember how Jamaica stay now. You know, I tell a man when you go check a farm and you say, oh, how things, if you get not bad, that means that things are great. Right? Nobody not gonna really tell you. So they want to make millions.
Right.
And it's still a risky business.
Right, of course.
Right, because of these weather events.
Yes.
And we still have to find a way to lower the risk and lower some of the costs.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's an avenue that people, and we have seen, definitely since I've been minister, a lot of people coming out of traditional professions and going into agriculture. Because the beauty with it also, you can deal with your own time and
Time management. Yeah.
So Ackeef, you are currently a student at Excelsior High School, right?
And to me, a matter of fact, the Excelsior High
What
School.
you know? What you know?
I'm going to school, man. I'm going to school. No, I'm going to school.
What is it? All right, so let me ask you something. Your busy schedule as an educator, as a principal of an actual school of your own, does that put any strain on you as a student or even as a child?
Well, as it relates to that part, as a principal, you know, as a leader of the school, it comes with many responsibilities, many things to handle. But with you scheduling, like for example, having a timetable, you know, plan how everything goes, I think going forward or going through the day would be a bit easier because you know your timing and know your schedule. And I'm a man of time, so I deal with time.
Okay. So you're good at balancing,
Yes, balancing
everything
time.
that you have to do, your studies for Excelsior, and then the focus that you have on your students.
So personal, many persons don't know that I have a personal time because they say they don't say that. But I do have a personal time where I shut out, not really to say don't care about anything else, but I just call that time the shutting down time for some time to give me some peace of mind.
What you
And
know?
I found timetable is critical. Seriously, if you don't try and structure it, things will just take complete control of you.
I remember the first solid conversation me and you had was on a podcast that was talking about responsible fatherhood in general. And I know how passionate you are about being a great father for your kids. How many children do you have?
I just have one.
One?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I know that you take your role and responsibility as a father very seriously, but I know that being a minister, being an MP to thousands of people, especially in these types of situations, it gets demanding. Does it put strain on you?
Absolutely. There's a lot of strain. And I tell you, I had to move to scheduling and to schedule some family time in a real way.
Intentional.
And saying, and saying, listen, at least X, at least Y. Because, you know, you have your son, I have my son, you have your wife, and, you know, time, you can't replace time. Time is important. Yeah. Right? So it is very challenging, and, you know, the work is very demanding, and, you know, I have a constituency that they want to see me right around the clock. Right? Yeah. So you have to try and find a balance. And then what I try to do is I've always tried to communicate with him and make him know. Right? So he would tell him, say, boy, daddy go and work, daddy doing this, daddy doing that. Right. I make him kind of understand the job. Yes. Right? It doesn't make it that easier, and you have to still try and ensure that you show up for critical things, right? You know, so even in the mix of everything that's happening, you know, I have to pick up package, I'm going to start high school and those things, right? And it's important to show up for those things. So it's all about balance, but also in understanding that family is still priority. Yes. Because the truth is, when all of these things fade away, right? They're the only people you can turn to. True. The only people that will be there. Right.
Exactly. Correct, exactly. Yeah, so Ackeef, I mean, you know, I run joke about it, but down the road, like, let me ask you this first. What other things, because I know he's a man where you're busy as not just being the principal or being the educator or being the student. You have more things on your plate.
Yes, I do acting, I do dance, I do debating. I'm actually the vice president at school for the debating society and the vice president for the drama society at school. I do journalism club at school, media club. So I'm active in the school. Right. Yes, I play many roles in Excelsior.
Yeah, off the air we're talking and you're doing some hosting.
Yes, I'm actually working, doing a program on Roots FM. It's called You Talk. I'm the host of a program called You Talk on Mondays.
I feel like one day Ackeef got interview you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it's true. It's true. No, I definitely see the qualities. No, it's true. Definitely see the qualities. All right, so everybody knows you, Ackeef, as this wonder kid who is a principal, a student, an educator. Do you feel pressure to be the perfect student at Excelsior?
Well, no. What I like to do, I like to give everybody their chance to shine. I'm not the only person in society that wants to shine. So many persons at school, they would normally say, Ackeef, if there is something to do at school, Ackeef, go, Ackeef, go. Yeah. So this is Ackeef now one day. When they normally do it, I would say, okay. But one day, they are looking for me to say, all right, make Ackeef go on, and them call and say, Ackeef, no, I say, you have the talent, you have the same potential like I have. Right. Go and make use of it. So they were looking at to say, Ackeef, I go, so I will pick Ackeef. No. Everybody must have their time to shine.
Right. This little youth has a special anointing.
It's about empowering other people and understanding, say, you're still as strong as the team around you too.
Yes. You know, so everybody have the same potential.
Yeah, but you see what it is from 8. It's a great youth.
Great no, man, no, I see you down the road, I do great things. And a minister, speaking of down the road, and doing great things. You know, said in a barbershop conversation that people say Floyd Green is a man that look like him have the prime minister thing about him, you know.
I keep understand. No, listen, I find just put in the work. Put in the work and try and be consistent and see how the Lord direct your path, right?
Yes.
When I said I wanted to become member of Parliament, I knew it had to be St. Elizabeth because that's where I'm passionate about.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And I did my best. I became MP. Now, the Prime Minister, thankfully, has given me other roles to serve in. And I've tried very hard at all the roles, and I've really enjoyed them. And I think so far we've done well. And you just have to continue. I find if you put in the work, people appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you're genuine about what you do, if you remain humble despite all things, I think people appreciate it. And as you continue, I think everybody who goes into service, right, and political representation, you know, wants to serve and wants to be able to contribute the most.
Right.
So you just continue and see the opportunities that open up.
And let the chips fall
And
where
let
they
the
may.
chips fall where they may, you know.
Yeah. Do you still find the time to be a lawyer in the day?
Oh God, I try.
Yeah. What kind of law you specialize in?
So no, I largely only do land matters.
Okay.
Right. During my time when I was an active lawyer, I had about 60% was criminal practice, and the other 40%.
You used to do criminal?
Yeah, man. Me used to go court and
Oh, yeah,
me
said
used
to
to
me.
represent the whole heap of people, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. We used to have matters all over St. Thomas. We went to Spanish Town, Kingston, St. Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah,
In fact, when I decided I was going to get into politics, I set up a office in St. Elizabeth, but I never did criminal in St. Elizabeth. You know, because you know it's hard to be running, and every criminal must have two sides. You understand?
Right.
But I did a lot of criminal law. I always felt like criminal law is the closest thing to like law you see on TV. And when you say you want to be a lawyer,
right.
and you go in a court,
That's true.
and
Many
you
person
convince a
think that
jury.
that's
But there's so many different aspects to law.
No, absolutely, and you know it's not necessarily the one that gives you the most returns, right? So no, I largely do conveyancing, I largely do land matters, right? And I had reestablished my practice when I just went into law. I had to just stop because you have to choose your battles, and both of them are very jealous
Demanding.
masters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you can't have a client matter and the man try to get you say how the politics work.
Right,
That's a
right.
mash up business,
Yeah.
right? So I had stopped and then I restructured and I started back. So now I just do land matters, I just do enough matters that can manage, that can give me a supplemental income,
Right.
so that you can,
So what about the exhaust, recreation? I can ask both of you gentlemen. What do you do for recreation?
So I love a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love a good movie. If I find some time, I'll go watch a movie.
Right.
And me a go movie, man. Caribbean.
Yeah, with wifey.
man.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Knock off
man.
some
Yeah,
time.
last movie watch a Bad Boys too. But
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
man.
Dancing is life for me.
Dancing?
Yes,
Okay.
dancing.
Yeah, dancer. Yeah?
Dancing is life.
So give me a top 3 song where I make you move on the dance floor.
Well, it's just Jamaican folk dance. I like folk dances. Yes.
You know, say, this is an old soul.
yeah, man, it's a whole story, true. Yeah.
Folk dance for me.
What?
I like.
Here I
doing
am
folk
thinking of
dance.
some
You never
ding-dong
tell me
man.
tell you some ding dong and some caca flames.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what you say, you look at the heritage and the
Yes.
culture.
Culture.
Deep.
The way of life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy,
that's
gentlemen, I mean, we could have talked for the whole evening. I really appreciate this reasoning. Ackeef, I mean, you have Norman Manley High School, you have Charlie Smith, you have John Woolman, name him school, Woolmers, and here comes the Nugent
Nugent
Academy,
Academy.
going to be one of the greatest institutions in the Caribbean. I really see big things
Yes.
on the horizon and in the future for you. Minister,
Blessings.
I really appreciate you taking the time out of the schedule.
No, man. I'm happy we could.
We
get
are
it
going
done.
to continue to do our best to support all the relief efforts. We've already sent a whole heap of supplies. We're doing another drop
I
this
appreciate
weekend,
that.
clothes and, everything.
Yeah.
Tell me something, this support that is going out there, does it reach the people, or does it feel like a drop in the bucket to the extensive nature?
No, so it's reaching the people. And,
reaching
and
the
what we're
people.
trying to do is just to organize it so it reach all the people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I put it out more, some of the other communities that are out there.
Yes.
You know, some communities are very well known, right? So we're putting out the other communities that are not so well known.
Right.
And we're trying to work through the communities that are well known to make sure it reach more people.
Yeah.
And it is, and the people are appreciative of it. Very appreciative of it. So it's reaching and we had a whole outlay, and I have to big up Ramesh, who came down as well and reached out. And Shensia, of course, it was really Shensia's thing. But, you know, came down early and started the ball rolling. And a number of people have come. So it is reaching, but, you know, it's not a one-day thing, it's not a two-day thing. We just have to keep at it until we're over it. But we're going to build back.
Yeah, man.
Build back strong.
St. Elizabeth will rise, man.
Yeah, man. And the nicest place on earth. So one of the things people can do, as soon as you can, just book in a villa and come and St. come relax.
Exactly.
That's a good way to literally give
support.
back. When you get those villas back up and running, and people can get back that job.
The bread basket soon full again. That is it, man. Give thanks, gentlemen.
Now this is me in the future. Always want to prove a point. Now we're contemplating another junction in life. We live with our decisions. It all come down to choice. So what could have been will no longer be. 'Cause I put it in front of you and you still didn't see. What should have been is just a mystery. 'Cause I put it in front of you and you still didn't see. Although you're talented to the highest degree, now you're just a shadow of your true quality. I made use of my opportunity. Now I'm where I wanna be.